So all you need for this workshop is yourself, an open, curious mind, something to write on and with. It's always good to take notes, and it's always good to have a drink too, ideally water, not beer. You'd be sloshed by the end of the course. So this is all about embracing change. So week 3, finding your flow. Please note that during this session are many prayers, and a prayer is an affirmation, a blessing for what is and what can be. It is a message from a person to a something higher and wiser than ego. It could be the universe, a deity, or your higher self. It could be a purple-headed unicorn. It's whatever resonates with you. Great Bear, Spirit, I seek your lessons. Show me how to sink deep within myself to find the answers I seek. Teach me to understand that I possess all the resources necessary to survive. Help me know when to seek solitude, as you do in winter, and also when to emerge and nurture all that was born in darkness, as you do in spring. Guide me towards sweetness and play, and remind me to climb higher, and guide me towards wisdom and truth, and remind me to be ever patient. Guide me towards strength, keeper of medicine, that I might defend those I love, move with speed and to where I need to be, and stand nobly for what I believe. Anything that is real and true in this life transitions through many cycles and eventually goes full circle. From its winter sleep, the earth is awoken. The cycle of nature, true and unbroken. The promise of spring, of life a new start, to fill you with faith in mind, body and heart. The perfect wheel of nature keeps spinning, with proof that an ending is just the beginning. Rejoice in this season, may it fill you with peace, and may the blessing of nature for you never cease. The circle has healing power, and in the circle we are all equal. When in the circle, no one is in front of you, no one is behind you, no one is above you, no one is below you. The sacred circle is designed to create unity. The hoop of life is also a circle. On this hoop, there is a place for every species, every race, every tree, and every plant. It is this completeness of life that must be respected in order to bring about health on this planet. The First Nations hoop dance is a prayer for balance and harmony. So I highly recommend going onto somewhere like YouTube and just checking out the hoop dance. There's many, and there's so much wisdom. The circle in the hoop dance represents the medicine wheel, and that represents the circle of life. Flow and balance are as essential for the music and dance as they are in life. First Nations people believe that to balance life, we need to honour each area of the medicine wheel. The biggest circle is that of life, and of that of life is time. One of the many medicine wheel teachings talks about the cycle of life from when you were a baby to a little child, then a young adult to up to an elder when you pass over. Like the sun rising from the east to mark the beginning of the day, infants are placed onto the east or yellow side, following the direction the sun travels every day clockwise. The next would be the youth, then young adults and parents, followed by grandparents and elders, and then they return back to spirit world at the end of the cycle. Time is continuous, no beginning, no end. Energy transitions from one state of being to another. Energy just keeps going and circulating. Life is one big circle. Depending on your tribe, the medicine wheel may look very different. The medicine wheel, depending on who taught you, where you come from, can be stone. It can be stones that are in a circle. It could be around a fire, in a sweat lodge, or inside the hand drum. But much of the teachings are still the same. I could show you my hand drum. It's split into 4 on the back, so it's symbolic of the 4 directions. This is a medicine wheel, but it's created with 4 hoops out of the hoop dance. Many First Nations people of North America use the symbol to live a life of harmony. Do you see how 4 colours are working together as one? These colours represent the 4 great nations that live on Earth. The medicine wheel, having all 4 colours in balance, teaches us that all people should live as one family. The plant and animal symbols are useful to us as medicines and guardians and act to fulfill our spiritual and personal well-being. All aspects of life are interconnected. The medicine wheel serves to remind us of our place in this world, how we each have an impact through our actions, and how we are connected in many ways to our natural world. Negative impacts would result should we change the balance of things, which eventually will be felt by all. All things share the same breath. The beast, the tree, the man. The air shares its spirit with all the life that it supports. The number 4 is very sacred in the First Nations people's culture. Number 4 can be found 4 times in everything all around us, whether it's the life cycle, the seasons, spring, summer, fall and winter, or 4 directions, north, south, east and west. Everything is in 4, and that is why in a lot of ceremonies, elders pray in 4 parts or 4 directions because of the protocols or beliefs that have been passed down to them. The circle of knowledge. This represents the personal power that we each possess. By learning about the different parts of the wheel, we can have control over our states of being to maintain our happiness. This circle of knowledge means that we use the medicine wheel as a tool and as a system to pass on knowledge. All aspects of life are interconnected. All creation on Mother Earth was put here for a purpose, and we are all deeply connected. The spirit world is connected to life on Earth. The water is connected to the land. The sky is connected to the ground. Our connection to the land and to Mother Earth can directly affect our spiritual well-being, which will then affect our physical health, our emotional health, and our mental health as well. All parts of the medicine wheel are connected, and we, as people, are all equal. So all nations of the earth are equally connected to the Creator. There are 4 aspects of ourselves. The spiritual aspect, which is a sense of connectedness with the other creations of Great Spirit. The physical aspects, which is air, water, food, clothing, shelter, exercise, sex. There's the emotional aspect, recognition, acceptance, understanding, love, privacy, discipline and limits. Intellectual aspects, concepts, ideas, thoughts, habits, discipline. So that's the 4 aspects of ourselves. But we also have 4 inner parts. So the 4 inner parts of a person are mind decisions. Our decisions lead to actions. Our body actions. Our actions influence emotions. Emotions, reactions. Our emotions influence our values. Spirit values. Our values influence our decisions. It's very similar to how psychology, say, thoughts create feelings and feelings create behaviours and actions, which we'll go on to shortly in this session. But I also want to point out the spirit values here, which are core values. It's what makes your soul sing. It's things that are important to you and your authentic self. Things like that can influence our decisions, which can lead to our actions. So it's reinforcing that it's really important that we live by our core values and that everything is connected to those core values. Your circle of self-awareness. The circle also represents our own awareness of ourselves and our states, mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. And in order to be happy, we need all 4 of those states to be balanced. We can be aware of our own balance and help steer ourselves towards a more balanced life, therefore a more happy life. We need to be aware of each set of attributes and what they teach us. For example, in order to exist on Earth, the 4 elements are needed. And not only are they needed, they need to be in balance. So as the medicine wheel shows, we need an equal balance of air, water, fire, and earth. You're made of 4 different aspects: the emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical. You cannot exist if you take one area away. If you're not happy it's right now, it's because one of those areas is off balance. Physically, if you don't take care of your body, you will not be able to enjoy life because you're unhealthy. Emotionally, if maybe you're not sharing your emotions in a good and healthy way, you won't be able to be happy even if you are in great physical shape. Mentally, they say if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And that's why a lot of elders do crossword puzzles and games, because it's good for people to continue to do education and study and continue to read because it keeps you sharp. Most important, spirituality, no matter what faith you follow, because you need faith. So you need to take care of and maintain the 4 areas to get balance in your life, and balance leads to happiness. I want to make a point now to tell you, spirituality is not religion. The true meaning, as I believe to be true, spirituality means to seek the light within yourself. It doesn't mean any, it doesn't need to be a deity. It doesn't need to be in alignment with anything other than the light within yourself. So that's what the medicine wheel and the Native American teachings are all about. It's to help guide and find balance in all aspects of your life. The wisdom passed down to us tells us that by tuning into ourselves first, like core values, we become empowered. Our relationship with ourselves really matters. Our connection with ourselves really matters. And raising your awareness of self matters. Teach me how to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the senses of my body, the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so that I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear, and thus walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. And that's a Lakota prayer. We can take a moment to pause whatever happens in our day. We can take a breath and connect to a new beginning, accepting what is. We can let be, and when it's time to let go and bring back balance. So we're going to move from our head space now and get into our hearts with a short breathing exercise. I invite you to place your hand on your chest and just continue to breathe naturally. And if you can, notice the gap. See if you can notice the gap. Between the inhale and the exhale. And that space is the start of the sacred breath of life. So let's just breathe together for a moment. It doesn't have to be a conscious breath. You're doing it already, just breathe. The breath of life is circular, and it comes in and goes out with a little pause before it comes in and out and in and out again. According to native people, the sacred space is between the exhalation and inhalation. To walk in balance is to have heaven, which is spirituality, and earth, which is physically, in harmony. I am the breath. You are the breath. We are connected through the element of air. And now we're going to go from your heart into your body. I'm going to explain about EFT, TFT, and SFP. EFT is an evidence-based therapeutic method which results in a decline in PTSD, depression, anxiety, and pain. And this is a quote from the Journal of Evidence-Based Integrative Medicine. You can apply EFT to any life circumstances in which you do not feel at ease. When we apply the EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, it allows us to meet ourselves where we're at in our current mind state. EFT helps us to give ourselves permission to accept how we feel in the moment. To help understand this, you need to understand the basic concept that everything that exists first began with a thought. Metaphysics states there was nothing, then from no thing, something began. The Big Bang Theory states there was a great expanse of nothing, and from that, a big bang created the universe. And the Bible states there was God, and God had a thought and went on to create the world in 7 days. So CBT, NLP, and other psychological methods state that when we can control our thoughts, we can control our lives. Loving awareness is a mindful practice where we allow, thank you, Fly, ourselves to be aware of our thoughts so that we can sit with them, process them, show ourselves compassion, and let go to achieve deeper compassion for the self and others and reach enlightenment. Ho'oponopono is when we become aware of our thoughts and come to a state of acceptance through love, repentance, forgiveness, and gratitude. We can let go and achieve inner peace, which is the peace of I, which is also enlightenment. All these techniques work with the mind directly, which impacts the chemicals released in our body. How our body minds interact. So our thoughts become our feelings and emotions. They become our actions and behaviors, which then become our thoughts again. So we have thoughts, and then connected to the thought would be a feeling or emotion, at which point our body starts letting off a chemical reaction according to what it is. So for instance, if I stub my toe in the morning, maybe I'm going to become angry, and those angry feelings, and emotions are going to set off very unhappy chemicals. Well, maybe the chemicals themselves aren't unhappy, but those chemicals are going to go, you're in pain, you're suffering, something bad's happened, you're under threat, and we need to save you. And we need to then create all what we need to do to prevent the pain ever happening again. So try and create the memory to stop you stubbing your toe again, which I don't think is possible, but there you go. And also it wants to send all what's needed to the toe so it can heal. Maybe it needs to create swelling to protect it more, maybe not. And maybe it's going to go bright red, and then you're going to feel the heat from your toe as well. And the more that you feel your toe, the more you're going to have more memories. So you're going to act and behave in a certain way because your toe's sore, and because you're swearing at your toe, like, oh, I've just stubbed my toe, can't believe that bloody puppy, or that piece of Lego, or something like that, or that roller skate that I fell over. And then you then going to spiral, because your thoughts are going to be like, woo, we're going off on a magic carpet ride now. We're going to create more feelings and emotions and more chemical reactions, which are going to create more crazy behaviors and actions, which will become more crazy thoughts. And we'll kind of be caught up in that until something else catches us and we take our mind off it. Now, with that same thought, so I get up and I stub my toe, and I think, oh, my poor toe. And I soften to that. And I think, I'm going to give myself I'm just going to be kind to myself. My poor toe, like that poor puppy that I've just tripped over, my poor toe, the poor door that I just fell into. And it's sore, and I can feel it swelling, and I hope I've not broke anything, but now I can wriggle it. It's okay. And I'm going to give myself some loving kindness. So because my feelings and emotions are different, the chemical reactions aren't going to be too much on survival mode. They're going to be on sending, resetting the parasympathetic nervous system and bringing myself back into alignment with my truth of what's happened. It won't turn into a crazy spiral that's going to ruin the day at that point, because I'm like, well, I have just stubbed my toe, and yeah, it hurts, but I'm just going to allow myself a moment to sit with my toe and see what I need, and maybe put ice on it and give myself some love. And then I can go on about the rest of my day. So then my thoughts will not spiral into, oh my goodness, my entire day is ruined. I've stubbed my toe. Nothing's going to go right today. And that's it. I can write my day off now because of my toe. So that's how our thoughts can really change the course of our day through how we feel and our body chemicals. The more energy that we put into our thoughts, the more powerful they become. The more stuck we become inside our minds. Our thoughts then feed our emotions, and our emotions affect body chemistry and feed how we behave on conscious and subconscious levels. You cannot affect the mind without affecting the body. And you can't affect the body without affecting the mind. when we're aware of our thoughts, we can take responsibility for them, and we're able to control how we interact with the world. So if a thought is imbalanced, we can reframe and neutralize it with our language. So we have a thought like the toe, oh, I've just got my toe. And we're like, oh, I feel a bit, how can I bring myself in back? I'm just going to take a pause. So yeah, I've hurt my toe. No, the rest of my day isn't ruined. It's okay. What do I need right now in this moment? Ice. What can I do? I can give myself some love, and I'm going to sit with, I haven't got ice, maybe a bag of peas, and it's going to be okay. We're then going to be emitting more balanced feelings and balanced emotions. They're going to create much balanced actions and behaviors, creating more balanced thoughts. And then we become more in alignment with things in our world. Our behavior is less likely to affect other people in an imbalanced way, because it's so easy to get a bit upset and then someone catches you and they get snapped at, and then before long everyone's upset. So it's really important, if you take responsible for your own thought process and bringing yourself into center, everyone else will catch that in some way, and it will create a happier environment. TFT is called thought field therapy. EFT, which I've brushed over, and SFP, Sacred Freedom Protocol, are ways in which we give ourselves permission to sit with ourselves and sit with the thought, but also reach a state of acceptance using repetitive language. These methods enable us to create a new positive thought pattern, tune into the body's energy system through the meridian points and regulate our energy flow, and work on a physical level as well as a psychological level. The meridian system originates in the Far East and was discovered thousands of years ago. They can't actually date when it was, they found it on some real old stuff, but they can't find a date for the old stuff it originates on. But it does go back thousands of years. It's still used today in a lot of traditional Chinese medicines. I'm sure you've heard of acupuncture and acupressure. The EFT, TFT and SFP also use the meridian system. Don't panic, we don't need to learn all those points. We just have a few and we will learn them together. But in the meridian system itself, there are so many points on a human body. They've all got names and they relate to other internal parts of the body. In TFT, they use a specific phrase and tapping points for each issue. It's a bit like a tapping prescription. So you go and you get your book out and it says, right, so for a headache, you go to page whatever, and then it tells you, you state this phrase and you tap on these points and you do it so many times. In EFT, they use all the same tapping points in a certain sequence. So they begin in different places. So you could start under the arm, or you could start on your karate chop point, whatever. You can start where you like, and then you do it in a certain sequence, which, yeah, it doesn't really matter, but that's the way they do it. And they can begin in different places and also use a specific personalized phrase, which is different. So the tapping prescription, they just use a phrase that isn't personal to you. In EFT, you have a specific phrase that is very personal because you choose it. In SFP, they use certain tapping points, a certain personalized phrase, and they always start and finish in the same place, which I'm going to teach you today. So we're going to use different tapping points. Well, in a an order, because that's the way I find it works, because I always think if I start at the top and work down, it works better for me. Otherwise, if I started somewhere in the middle, I'd completely forget where I was going. And they always start and finish in the same place, which is always the karate chop point. The science explains when we experience anything that causes stress in our bodies, like overwhelm, grief, trauma and illness and disease, our body goes into fight, flight, freeze and fawn. Our bodies cannot tell the difference between a dead letter and a dinosaur. To our bodies, a threat is a threat. So this is showing a little diagram of a panic attack. That's your amygdala there, that little C-shaped thing, in that is a brain. And you see a heart rate rising on the heart. The amygdala is the primary part of the brain that is activated during a panic attack. The amygdala is responsible for a wide variety of emotions. It's also most known for its role in fear and aggression response. When you're threatened, the amygdala triggers the fight or flight response, which is what is happening during a panic attack. The amygdala works faster than thought. It's amazing. When we perceive a threat, our heart rate rises, breathing speeds up, our chests feel tight, stomachs can feel fluttery, digestive system slows down or speeds up. I'm sure you know people who might have shit themselves, or or people, you're talking to people who are feeling a bit nervous and they're like pop, pop, or burping a lot, and we can struggle to think straight. We get the urge to either fight the situation or escape the situation in somehow. Sometimes we can do neither, in which case we're a bit stuck, unable to go either way. We feel numb and cannot feel into the situation or see what's happening clearly. Sometimes we can differentiate in the level of threat, which takes a certain level of self-mastery, which can be achieved through Ho'oponopono. So with tapping, we are able to shift perception and take ourselves from the moment of stress into a place of calm really quickly. Tapping calms our bodies. It calms the body mind, and it helps us to transmute the anxiety into a place of clarity and reflection. That's because tapping, it actually resets or helps reset the parasympathetic nervous system. Tapping also helps to formulate a new memory pattern as we start to associate sensations of tapping with new thought patterns that we create. So please note there are a lot of conflicting teachings and posters available today on TFT and EFT tapping points. The reason for this is that the tapping industry isn't regulated. A lot of people start tapping after seeing a video or friend teaching them. People try teaching others without knowing what they're doing. My current teacher is Dawson Church. Excuse me. And Dawson Church is working very hard to bring in regulation into the tapping industry. His many, many years of research and experience in using EFT. And as far as I'm concerned, it is the gold standard and the most effective. He works with, his research and stuff is the same methods as you'll learn through someone called Nick Ortner and Jessica Ortner. You'll be able to access and get to try these things. I think the World Tapping Summit each year is usually free to attend, and it's over a few days, and it's a really cool thing to just to go to, and there's loads of like free tapping things and hearing the leading edges in tapping. So tapping is amazing, it's really good, and there's a lot of science that backs it up. or there is now, you know. So it's important not to use EFT, TFT or SFP with clients, if you have clients, unless you know exactly what you're doing, specifically around subjects like grief or trauma. Just get a drink. So Joe Vitale, you may have heard of him, and Matthew Dixon created Sacred Freedom Protocol. Joe Vitale has been tapping for many years, which surprised me. He's known for the law of attraction. He's quite a showman, but he did begin as a tapping instructor, and he's incredibly good at it and very knowledgeable. He's also been one of the specialists featured to tap at the World Tapping Summit. They discovered, Joe and Matt, discovered when they blend Ho'oponopono with EFT that it gets the results much quicker. This is because it works with the body mind, and it also integrates the physical body and utilizes our senses. So what they did was pretty amazing. Hello, Wasp. And now you understand the power of thought. Understand the basic Ho'oponopono. Know about how EFT, TFT and SFP differ. Understand the importance of teaching with a professional, or learning with a professional. Don't teach, learn with a professional. And know the history of tapping and SFP. We're now going to move on to looking at how to apply SFP into your life. So we're going to look at how you feel right now, because maybe in your life there is some kind of unease or imbalance occurring in your life. So on a scale of 0 feeling perfect, absolutely fantastic and couldn't get any better, and 10 being absolutely awful and couldn't get any worse, if you have a just moment to feel into how you feel at the moment as to something general that you'd like to improve on. So maybe you're feeling tired, maybe you're feeling imbalanced, maybe you're feeling not enough, maybe you're feeling sad. We're going to use that word in our personalized phrase. So even though I feel, and then we look at how we feel, and we add the word, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So if you just put down how you feel, the examples here that I've got, and you don't have to use one of these examples, you know, you have free will, so do choose something that resonates with you. It could be like not enough, undeserving, sick, maybe you feel unwell, maybe you feel tired or unhappy or sad or stressed, tense, incapable, angry, off weight, overweight, off balance. Now you've got a word. We're going to write down the phrase, even though I feel, and then add the word to explain how you feel right now. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So I'm going to repeat that phrase again. Even though I feel, and we're going to put in the word to describe how we feel right now. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And now we're going to utilize our senses to hear ourselves, grant permission for us to feel. We're going to create a new thought pattern by repeating our personalized phrase. This becomes our new belief that we accept that it is okay to feel exactly how we feel in this moment. The combination of love, forgiveness, and acceptance allows us to show ourselves self-compassion. Feeling creates healing. When we give ourselves permission to feel something, whatever the something is, we can open it up, open ourselves up to it a whole lot more. In Sacred Freedom Protocol, we're allowing ourselves to feel and accept our feelings and emotions exactly as they are. And then we take it deeper by adding the Ho'oponopono, reminding ourselves, I love myself and I forgive myself. So don't forget, it's perfectly okay to feel blank, to feel nothing. It's perfectly okay to just be with however it is around that and just allow it to be. And then through tapping, it helps it to change. It helps it to transmute from the form it's at to a new form. Please do not try opening up to trauma and other deep issues today, or without help from a trained professional, so you don't cause yourself or others harm. One-to-one sessions are available if you PM me. So you will repeat the phrase repetitively while tapping, even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. We repeat ourselves because repetitive language creates new thought patterns. Neurons which fire together, wire together. Thoughts become feelings and feelings become things. We're also working with universal laws. The law of attraction, when we think and feel something, it attracts more of the same. And the law of psychic cause and effect, taking a thought, which is called a psychic cause, we feel the thought, focus on the thought, and then the effect is that the thought appears or manifests into a physical form or situation. This is why people who moan a lot end up with more to moan about. Like is always attracts like. In SFP, the points can alter in some advanced methods. Matt and Joe teach many other ways to apply SFP. One thing I must mention is use of the gammon point. Because the tapping, this point's on the back of your hand, but because this is a basics workshop, it's not necessary to teach you that today. It's still going to work. And it works perfectly well without the gammon point. This is because I want to keep things simple. I don't want to confuse you. It doesn't mean these three methods that I'm going to teach you are in any way less effective. So the tapping points here, we're going to learn the tapping points. Always begin tapping on our karate chop point. So if you think you're a tapping ninja, you want the side of your hand there, and that there is your karate chop point. So we tap on our point, karate chop point, and then we move up to the crown. And our crown is, if we're sitting straight, our crown will be directly above our spine. And then our third eye is here. Third eye isn't up here, it's here in between the eyebrows. We tap here. It's harder to see and tap. Temples is just these indentations, just the sides of our eyes, and we can tap here. And then we go to below the eye. And then under the nose, right in the middle there. Chin dimple, which is this bit here, just there's like a little crease in between the bottom of our bottom lip and our chin. We tap here. And then we've got our collarbone. So here's our collarbone and we tap here. And then we go back to our karate chop point. Now, on the pictures, it shows underarm, and that's because underarm is where they use in EFT. We don't use underarm in SFP. They use it in TFT and EFT, and we don't use it at all. It's not necessary. You're going to repeat the phrase repetitively while tapping, even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Right. So how to tap, however you feel comfortable. Use one finger or all fingers, one hand or both hands. Maybe you've got no fingers or can't use your fingers, you can use your hand. If you've no hand, you can visualize tapping or get someone else to tap for you. So always tap each place at least 7 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The chances are, by the time you've completed your phrase, you've done way more than enough anyway. The main point is that you're tapping. So we're going to go through the tapping points again. So always begin tapping on the karate chop point. And then we move up to the crown. And then the third eye. And the temples. Below the eye. Under the nose. Chin dimple. Collarbone. Back to karate chop point. And now we're going to run through the phrase. And starting tapping on your karate chop point. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And because, like the 4 directions, things always come in 4, it makes sense to say the sentence 4 times on each point. So we're moving up to the crown. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Really, the puppy's trying to join in. Third eye. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Temples. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Below the eye. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Under the nose. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Chin dimple, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Onto the collarbone. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Right, chop point, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So now we're going to look at how you feel now. So on a scale of 0 feeling the most perfect, couldn't get any better, and 10 feeling like the worst ever in the world, if you can put down a number now, looking at how you was feeling and see if it's gone up or down compared to before. And then we're going to do it again. So we're going to start with our karate chop point and we're going to do another round. So we'd already done one round and you can see whether it's made a difference already. And we're going to do another round. So starting at the karate chop point and praying the puppy doesn't come over to join in again, because that hurts being bitten while trying to count how many times you tap him. And yeah, it changes your words quite well, actually. Even though I feel bitten, frustrated, angry, I do. So I like to try and focus on the one word because you get a better result. So karate chop, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. The crown, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Third eye, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Temples, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Below the eye, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Under the nose, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Chin dimple. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And then collarbone. No, yeah, collarbone. Sorry. Even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And last one onto the karate chop point, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself, even though I feel. I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So the aim is to reach 0. We keep tapping with our phrase until we reach a place where we can feel that we've changed and raised our vibe around our chosen subject. And now, hopefully, you're feeling more balanced. We're going to change our phrase. So now that I feel, so if you want to write that down, puppy, now that I feel, and changing the word to a more balanced word, often with the opposite meaning to the last. So it's now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So we've got some examples. So not enough could become enough. Undeserving becomes deserving. Sick becomes well. Thank you. Unhappy becomes happy. Sad becomes better. Stressed can become calmer. Tense become relaxed. Incapable can become capable. Angry can become relaxed. Off balance, balanced. Overweight, at the right weight. I was using frustrated. Are you looking at me? And frustrated can be calm. So you can, if that hopefully will help you take your word to a new, more appropriate word. What do you think, Mr. Puppy? Says it sounds all right to me. So now that we feel more balanced, we're going to change our phrase to now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. I need my hands now. Come. So Puppy's going to help, I think. Can Puppy help this time? Puppy's going to tap my karate chop point or bite it, one or the other. So now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And onto the crown. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Third eye, now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. That was the third eye, so onto the temples. So now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Below the eye. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Under the nose. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. I'll change hands. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And we're going on to the collarbone now. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, sorry, someone had got wood in his mouth. So where was I? Karate chop point. And karate chop point. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Now that I feel, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So I think that was the whole cycle done. Thank you very much. Puppy says, I'm very sorry, but I was having so much fun. Aren't you? So once we feel all the energy has been transmuted, we no longer have to tap on it anymore. Tapping can take anything from one session to multiple sessions to get long-lasting positive changes. We can also use SFP for addictions, illness, and disease. So we alter the phrase. So if you'd like to write this new phrase down, And it should say, even though I have this. So we can add the word for addiction or headache or insomnia. And then say, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So even though I have this headache, insomnia, nausea, morning sickness, drinking problems, smoking issue, sex addiction, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So for addictions, illness and disease, so headaches, it could be getting over a stroke, heart disease, cancer. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. And we look at how we feel now on a scale of 0 being absolutely fantastic, couldn't get any better, and 10 being worse than ever, nothing worse than, you know, and we write it down. So if there's something that you want to work on now, then if you write your word down and write a little note next to it, so you've always got this note to go back to, you can see, and then say if you take a week at doing it, you'll see that gradually you do actually rise. Sometimes it only takes one session, sometimes it takes many sessions. So on a scale of 0 being perfect, we're always aiming for 0, wiping all the memories clean so that there's nothing more to be fearful of. And 10 being worse than ever, so your mind being, so mark it down, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna run through this process, starting with the karate chop point and the phrase, even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Onto the crown. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Third eye. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Temples. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Below the eye. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Under the nose. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. We go to our chin dimple. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Collarbone. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Karate chop point. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have this, I deeply love, forgive, and accept myself. So the aim is to reach 0. We keep tapping with our phrase until we feel a balanced shift in our mindset, and then we can change our phrase. But once we feel the situation has been transmuted, we no longer have to tap on it anymore. We don't benefit from an opposite phrase with this in this circumstance. So within addictions and disease, once you've got rid of a headache, it's all good, you know, something like that. Tapping can take anything from 1 session to multiple sessions to achieve long-lasting changes. Another way to heal or clean using Sacred Freedom Protocol is we're focusing, like with Ho'oponopono, you focus on the thought, the resistance that you've got going on inside of you. With loving awareness, you're focusing on whatever it is that's going on inside of you. So here we bring whatever it is that we want to clean or cleanse through tapping into our lives, into our focus. So you could use the intention to remove a headache. You could do the intention to change your behavior. You could do just something that you needed to have. You thought you'd got resistance to, you feel some inner resistance. You think, oh, I'm going to cleanse that, or I'm going to clean that, or heal that. The phrases for the Ho'oponopono: I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you. The tapping points, exactly the same. Karate chop, up to the crown, the third eye, temples, below the eye, under the nose, chin dimple, collarbone, karate chop point. For those who are unfamiliar with Ho'oponopono, we're going to give you a quick reminder of the 4 affirmations and why we say them. So we say, I love you, because we're showing ourselves love is a really important part of self-acceptance. Telling ourselves, I love you, says, I know that you didn't do, you know, you did do something that was wrong. You did make a mistake, and it's a chance to try again. I love you anyway. It also connects us to source. That's the source, the divine, whatever it is. It could be our higher self, could be the universe, purple-headed unicorn. I'm sorry is apologizing for something, shows that we accept we thought and acted mistakenly and are willing to take responsibility for our actions, because we know we're not perfect. It's what happens when we're human. Please forgive me. We can learn from our mistakes. Holding on to any situation hurts us and drains our energy. Self-forgiveness and forgiving others removes internal blocks so that we can move forward. I thank you is we can be thankful for acknowledging all problems are not problems. They're opportunities to clean our data. Being able to clean memories so we can let go and let God transmute them, or the universe, or the purple-headed unicorn, whatever it is, our higher selves. For being able to find a safe and practical way to release and cope. And also for finding peace no matter what is happening around us. So we're focused on the intention to clean or heal, while tapping on the points at least 7 times, the karate chop point, up to the crown, the third eye, the temples, below the eye, under the nose, chin dimple, collarbone, karate chop point. So we're going to run through it now. The karate chop point. So we're focusing, bringing to mind whatever it is that's causing us resistance, or anything that we want to clean or cleanse. It could be something coming up in the future. It could be something in the present. Whatever it is, it could be a memory that keeps showing up for us. We just bring it into the present moment, focus on that feeling and that situation or that word, or focusing on that. We start with our karate chop point, tapping on that. And we just say the phrase, and we're going to say the 4 affirmations 4 times on each point. So I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. We move up to the crown. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Third eye. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Temples. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Below the eye. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. Under the nose. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Chin dimple. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. Onto the collarbone. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. please forgive me, I thank you. Excuse me, that's my fingers. Karate chop point. I love you, I'm sorry, that's my wrist. Please forgive me, I thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you. And that's my wrist. Come on. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you. Really, really, you just can't help yourself, can you? Please get off my fingers. Thank you. You can get down on the floor. Go bite someone else. Yeah. So we keep tapping with our phrase until we clean and clear our memories or data. The aim is to reach 0. You have 2 ways to live your life, from memory or from inspiration. The only way to hear the divine or your inner higher, wiser self and receive information is to clean all memories. The only thing you have to do is clean. And that's a quote from Dr. Hugh Len. So we're going to bring today's session to a close with a First Nations blessing. You're going to do a blessing, puppy. Hey. So you're going to do a blessing. Hey. Say, may Mother Earth guide your paws. May Father Sky keep his arms around you. May Grandfather Sun warm your cold days. May Grandmother Moon keep the glow in your heart. And may Star Nations light the way to the next destination. And the Great Spirit always, always keep you shielded from pain. Blessings to you. So now is question time. So feel free to ask any questions.